Look, let me just say, during most of my life, my health has been pretty good. I'm now 69 years young, and for most of that, I've been able to do what I want to do when I wanted to do it. I will tell you that it was several years ago, before I became mayor of the city of Houston, I did have a sinus infection, and so I went into the doctor to get that looked at, and that's when I discovered for the first time that my blood pressure was high. And for the first 6 years of being married, we were going and going and going. Every day, morning, noon, night, health was good, okay? But I noticed that I had a nagging, like, toothache. I would take a Tylenol or two, and I kept right on going. Did a lot of traveling. The toothache didn't bother me so bad where I could stop. Quite frankly, while I was working, if I was talking, if I was moving around, not a problem. And I'll never forget, we went on this tourism trip to Mexico. And, nagging toothache. I took a couple of Tylenol, kept on moving. But later on, we were planning this trade and investment mission to France. And I did not want to go to France with a nagging toothache. And so I decided, let me go to my dentist and get this taken care of. But whatever the dentist needed to do, enough time for me to have it done, heal, and then take off to France, leading this 30-person delegation. So I went to the dentist. And I'll never forget, in June of 2022, I went into my dentist and I said, Doc, I've got a little nagging toothache. I think I need a filling. And if not a filling, a root canal. So let's get it done, because I got to get out of here, okay? So she sat me in the chair, laid me back, and she said, well, let's do some, she said, let's do some x-rays first. So I said, fine. I was still in the chair. And then her husband comes in, who's also a dentist. And he came in to say hello to me. So he said, Mayor, how you doing? And I said, I'm doing fine. I got this little nagging toothache. And while he was talking to me, he said, how long has that little lump been on your jaw? I said, I really hadn't even noticed. I guess not very long. So he said, yeah, let me take a look at it a little bit more. So he looked at it. In fact, they both looked at it. And then he said, I tell you what, before we do anything else, I want you to go see somebody and check it out first before we do anything else. So I said, fine, but I don't have a whole lot of time, so as long as we can do it, how soon can the guy see me? He said, well, he'll see you tomorrow. I'll call, we'll set up. So I go and see this, I guess, specialist the very next day. I go in, he takes a look, and he takes some x-rays too. He tells me to open up, I open up, and but he doesn't say very much. And he calls in somebody else, they take a look. I'm just laying back there. So finally I said, somebody gonna talk to me, And then he says, I tell you what, I want to get a biopsy of your jaw back there. So I said, a biopsy? What you want to do a biopsy for? He said, well, got a little lump. I just want to be as thorough as I need to be. So I want you to go and get a biopsy. I said, fine, but we got to just do it as soon as possible. A few days later, the pathologist calls me. And I was in the mayor's office at my desk. And he says to me, he said, Mr. Turner, the report has come back, and it is cancer. So I said, say that to me one more time. He says, it's cancer. I said, okay. And he said, where would you like to be treated? So I said, let me process this real quickly, you know. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you know. Long story short, I decided, okay, I'll go to MD Anderson. But I also decided I was going to go and lead the trade mission to France. And then I would come, when the trade mission was over, in about, 7, 8 days, I would come back and go to MD. And so my dentist called. And she said, they told me the report. And sorry to hear that. Hated that came back. We was hoping that would not be the case. And she said, where are you going? I said, I'll go to MD Anderson. And she said, you going tomorrow? I said, no. I said, Doc, I'm going to lead the trade mission. And then just as soon as I get back, I'm going to go. And then she said something to me that just kind of hit me. She said, normally she would say mayor. This time she said Sylvester. She said, Sylvester, there will come a time when you will place yourself first. I suggest that is this time. So I said, damn. I said, okay. Let me think it. Let me process this. So I'm in the mayor's office at my desk, and I said, okay. So I picked the phone up, and I called the pathologist back. And I said, okay, I'm going to send the delegation on, and I'm going to stay, and just tell me when the people at MD can meet. And so they called me back and said they will see you the very next day. So I go to MD, and I go in the oncologist, Dr. Ryan Goffert, comes in, and he's very direct. I mean, very direct. He says, we've looked at all of the images, and it does appear to be cancerous. We think it's what we call osteosarcoma. It is an aggressive sort of cancer, and we want to do our own workup. But he said, but I've already assembled a team, and I want you to start meeting them today. So I'm sitting there. And so he's straight to the point, and I said to him, just tell me directly what it is. Just shoot very straight with me, and we'll go from here. So he said, I want you to go and get another scan done, and I want a PET scan, your entire body, and we want to do that. Then I want you to meet with this plastic surgeon, because he said, if things are as we believe they are, we're going to have to remove a portion of your lower jaw. And we are going to then have to reconstruct your jaw. And if that's the case, I need you to meet with the plastic surgeon. You will meet with him after you finish talking to me. And then he said, it's our hope that we can get it all from the surgery. But if we can't, I want you to meet with the radiologist. And then I also want you to meet with the chemotherapist, the whole team. And all of this will take place today. Now, mind you, I put off the trip. I go to MD the next day. And all of this is being scheduled on this same day. And then he says, because we don't want to waste any time, and if things come back as we think they will, I have scheduled your surgery a week from today, next week. And I said, okay. And I said, how long do you think this surgery will be? He said, probably about 9 hours. And he said, I will be taking out a portion of this jaw. The plastic surgeon at the same time will be taking a portion of your bone from your tibia. And when I finish, then they will come in. We're going to remove and reconstruct all at the same time. And in part that was predicated because I said, look, I still have a job to do. And he said, we can do one portion at one time, we can do another portion another time. I said, no, let's get it done. So he said, fine. So go through all of that. And then they explained to me, the plastic surgeon, there'll be a drainage cup on both sides of your jaw. There'll be a drainage cup on your leg. And we'll do all of that. Now, the only people who knew, of course, my immediate family knew, and at the city, my chief of staff knew. And so had the surgery in the hospital, surgery 9 hours, in the hospital for 8 days. I get out on this Friday. They removed the drainage cup from my leg. They removed one of the drainage cups from my jaw. And then saw the doctors the next week. They removed the last drainage cup. And then the doctor says to me, the plastic surgeon said, Mayor, because I said, when are you clearing me so I can return to City Hall? And he said, well, I'm gonna clear you, but bear in mind your body is still healing. So long story short, I returned back. The surgery was on June 30th of 2022. I returned back to City Hall, at City Council member meeting, on July the 18th of 2022. I come back, my oncologist calls and says, I think we got it all, but I'm not sure. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go through radiation. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He said, no. So I said, when? He said, get with the radiologist. So we decided August the 1st of 2022. I went at 7:30 in the morning and finished at about 8. I was back at City Hall at about 8:15, 8:20. I maintained all of the schedule, all of the events, did that for 6 weeks, Monday through Friday. The only thing that I say in closing, I'm claustrophobic. And they put this mask on my face. And I'm saying this, because men, we shy away from. But they put this mask on my face and laid me down, and then they clamped the mask. I couldn't see, I couldn't move and so, but I could move my leg. And when they clamped that thing down, and I was lying down, I started kicking with my leg. Technician comes in and says, is there something wrong? I said, hell yeah, there's something wrong. I can't breathe, I can't see, I cannot do this. I said, I can't do this. And so they said, well, you have to do it, it has to be tight, so we'll know where the radiation needs to go. I said, I cannot do this. And they said, you want to delay it? We can delay it. I said, well, I don't want to delay. I said, well, give me a minute. And then I said, this music y'all got in here is not helping me out. Y'all got to find me another station with some music I can identify with. And I laid back down, they clicked it, and for 6 weeks, every time I went in, they found the station. The point I want to make is that I had put that nagging toothache off, and I kept going forward. And I thought I was okay. It was only because I wanted to go on the France trip and lead the delegation that caused me to go to the dentist's office. And my oncologist said to me when I did come in, Mr. Turner, if you had waited another 4 months or so, your situation would be a lot worse. And I will tell you, I've gone through that, the surgery, gone through the radiation. The radiation interacted with this metal bar that they put in. And I wear this mask today, not because I got COVID, but because on February the 8th of this year, they decided the only way they were going to address the interaction with the radiation with the metal, they were going to have to go back in and remove the metal and then put a skin flap over it in order for it to heal. So there are stitches underneath, okay? So I wear this mask, not because I'm in pain, not because it didn't work, but I wear this mask simply because of vanity. I want you to see my good looks for what they are and not be, distracted by the stitches. Men, too, are vain. But let me tell you, if you want to live, if you want to be around to take care of your family, if you want to be around to participate in the battle, first, you have to take care of your health. Listen to your body. It's talking to you. And if you listen to your body and respond accordingly, you will live to see another day. Thank you.